But one of the things that was scary about that act, and we're going to
I think this gives us an opportunity then to begin the first panel. Ask Mr. Vietden to join us.
He actually is the purported author. He did get to testify 3 months after.
This afternoon is Mr. Vietden, the Assistant Attorney General for Office of Legal Policy. The Justice Department asked Mr. Vietden be permitted to testify at this hearing to give the Department's views. He has served as Assistant Attorney General since May 31st of this year. Prior to his government service, he was Professor of Law at Georgetown University Law Center. He also served as Special Counsel to the Senate Whitewater Committee and to Senator Domenici during the impeachment trial of President Clinton.
Americans, look around this room. Americans are the people of the world, as you say. The inscription at the base of the Statue of Liberty, it doesn't say, it says, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses. It doesn't say, give me your highest SAT. It does not say, give me your best and brightest. It says, give me your lowest. Give me the ordinary people of the world, and I will promise you something special. I will promise you liberty. I will promise you freedom. And with that liberty, with that freedom, America lets the ordinary people of the world do their ordinary things, but achieve extraordinary things as Americans.
Goldstein represents Dr. Badr al-Hazmi, a radiologist in Texas who was detained in connection with the September 11th attack investigation. I thank you also for joining us, and you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished members of the committee, let me begin by responding briefly to the able and eloquent colleague who spoke on the previous panel and described the inscription at the base of the Statue of Liberty. Perhaps in retrospect we should amend that inscription to bring me your poor, your huddled masses, and we will jail them as illegal aliens, subject them to secret proceedings, and eavesdrop on their conversations with their lawyers.
What you have to think about, you know, everybody has their moments. What is it? Every fucking hog, even blind ones, find a acorn every now and then. One of the things that worried me about the Patriot Act is that for a quarter of a century, none of us paid attention, but there was this FISA, this Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act court, that was these secret federal judges in some secret courtroom that were issuing secret surveillance warrants. And the reason we didn't give a shit is they couldn't use them in criminal courts. It was intelligence. Well, the Patriot Act allows them to use those secret judges' secret warrants in criminal investigations. First two investigations. One was a porn shop in Las Vegas, and the other was a whorehouse in New Orleans. I mean, I guess that's terrorism, but you know, it's not the kind I was really worried about. I kind of like some of that. But anyway, the thing about this, the first case that came before them, the judges published for the first time a redacted, opinion. And the 7 secret judges in the secret courtroom in the Just Us building in Washington unanimously decided by secret ballot that they weren't going to allow them to do that. That the USA Patriot Act extended unconstitutionally into the rights and privacy of our citizens. Unanimously. And by the way, only one side gets to appear before the secret court, and that's the Attorney General of the United States. And the Associate Attorney General of the United States, the only one allowed to appear, appealed that 7 secret unanimous judge opinion to a secret appellate court. I don't know where that is. And 3 secret appellate judges said that, no, it's okay. It's not so bad. These are hard times. We've got to use difficult tactics, and we're going to have to stretch a little bit. And I've checked. Apparently, there is no secret Supreme Court. That's where it lies today. By the way, the NSA, the NSA warrants, the ones that, how many of you were in Aspen this year to hear, what was his name, is it Goldsmith, the guy that was there with Comey, the acting Attorney General when Gonzalez goes to try and extend the NSA Act, and Ashcroft, to his credit, fucking says, I ain't doing that. On his deathbed. Right. I mean, he lived long enough to get that $500 million fee, but at the time they didn't know that. He's on his back, hooked up to all these shoes, and somebody asked Goldsmith. They said, well, he's there. He said, well, what did Ashcroft say? He said, well, he just shook his head. He didn't say anything. And he said, well, what did Gonzalez say? He said, well, he said, thank you, Mr. Attorney General. He said he didn't realize that at the time he was not the Attorney General. It was actually Comey who was with Goldsmith, because the Attorney General was incapacitated. And then they said, was anyone else there? And they said, yeah, Mrs. Ashcroft was there standing behind her husband's bed. And they said, well, did she say anything? He said, no, she didn't say anything, but when Gonzalez turned around to walk away, she stuck her tongue out at him. Anyway, the whole purpose, they said, for the extension of this NSA secret warrants is, they said, well, it's too much trouble to get these FISA secret warrants. Well, didn't they read it? You can go ahead and conduct the surveillance and wait 3 days to get a FISA warrant. You can delay obtaining a warrant for 3 days. Ain't that enough time? What are they talking about? By the way, as you probably know, the arraignments began in the military tribunals for 5 suspects who were brought from rendition in foreign countries to Guantanamo, where they said, and by the way, the CIA acknowledges that they were waterboarded, which, depending on your point of view, the confession was obtained by waterboard. And they've said, we don't want any fucking lawyers. We want to be martyred, yes.
How long after the arrest were the arraignments?
In this case, what? Probably, since, 9/11, 2001, figured it had to happen within, think about all that. Okay. But by the way, this is a never land. Don't forget, these are not, citizens, these are enemy combatants. We just put a fucking label on them and stick them someplace. That's how we've always dealt with people, whether it was by color, whether it was by gender, whatever it was. They're different from us. They're somehow they're combatants. They don't fit within the Geneva Convention. Remember, name, rank, serial number. Fuck it, we want a confession. Just call them something different. We'll beat it up. That's cool.